नारायण स्वामी 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 नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण स्वामी नारायण
स्वामी घनश्याम महाराज की जय स्वामी नारायण 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 स्वामी
घनश्याम महाराज निज नमन हूँ करो विश्व पालने कर गरी कहो भक्ति बाणे अर्ज हरि नागरो विपदि हरि श्री हरि हरो अवर आसरो नारेणति सर्व जानने सुख कति कठोर ताड़नाथ छोड़नी सुकर श्यामला मुक्त नामनी अमरनाथी आश्रिता हरि रसिक रात जो लाज नारी प्रणत पाड़ सर्वना प्रभु दिन दयाल छो विश्वनाथ विभु विमल मूर्ति पूर्णांसो नजनति प्रभु दूरनाथ सो अधिक त्रास में तोड़ी नाथ जो ब्रह्मानंद में पास राख जो आवास रूबल पास राख जो घनश्याम महाराज को
First up is Pura, right? Still want to go? First up is Pura with his Hari of Deshamrud.
Dude, it's in my mouth.
We can hear you.
कृष्ण महाराज निज જ્યારે માજ ખાવા બેસે ત્યારે અડધે વારે પાણી પીવા અને પેટની ઉપર હાથ રબ. So what does that sentence mean? Go for it. Dude, this is so uncomfortable. Go for it.
So when Maharaj eats, he drinks water like in between, and every time he eats, and he rubs his belly.
જ્યારે મહારાજ ખાવા બેસે ત્યારે જમનો પગ ઊભો હોય અને ડાબો પગ પલાટી વાળેલો હોય. So explain that sentence.
So he kind of sits like this when he eats.
Yeah.
Like his Jamra bug, it's like up, and his other bug is like kind of like crisscross. Yeah.
Well, you can see that, like Maharaj, Jamti Murti said, why are you discussing this? What is the reason behind it?
So when you're doing mansi or feeding Maharaj, when you do tat, like the way he's sitting and like how to
This is
give him.
number 25th, right?
Yeah.
What are those all 25 talk about?
I haven't done all 25. I've done
First
that.
25, right? Because we've been taking one every week, right?
No, we've been skipping around. And Mommy told me to do this one because it's related to kind of Shakut stuff.
માટે આપણે કરીએ છીએ જેથી કરીને આપણને ભગવાનની ચરિત્રો યાદ રહે ને કે આપણે માનસિક પૂજા કરીએ ભગવાન આવે છે think of it like that મહારાજ આવીને બેઠા છે પછી આપણે એવી રીતે ઇમેજિનેશન કરીએ પછી આપણે ભગવાનને એવી રીતે જમાડવા.
Yeah. Good job, Maharaj. Nija.
Next is Isha with her speech.
This one. So I have a story on Sakotsav. Shiji Maharaj first did a Sakotsav in the village of Loya in the month of Magar Posh 1877. There were no other festivals during this month, so Surakacha requested Maharaj to introduce an utsav all devotees could celebrate together. As he said this, a devotee arrived at the sabha offering Maharaj a lot of fresh aubergines, and that is like eggplant. So lots of fresh eggplant. Maharaj was so overwhelmed by the sight of all the scrumptious looking eggplant that he announced to Surakacha that they will be celebrating a Sakotsav. All the devotees were thrilled to hear this. Maharaj requested Surakacha to invite all the devotees from nearby villages and to prepare the cooking utensils. Surakacha said that he would do so and also arrange for the cooks. But Maharaj stopped him and said there will be no need for that as he will be doing all the cooking by himself from beginning to end. This astounded the devotees, and they all started to wonder how Maharaj would manage to cook for hundreds of people by himself. Maharaj, dressed in a white dhoti and shawl, started chopping the 1,200 kilograms of eggplant, and then lit the fire under the 3 stoves. He used 360 kilograms of ghee in total. He poured some of it into each stove and did vagar of the eggplant. Many devotees approached him with offerings of gram flour, sugar, salt, chili powder, and turmeric. Maharaj would tell the devotee to empty each bag into one stove, so one stove only had turmeric and chili powder in it, one only had gram flour, and one had only salt and sugar. Seeing this, Surakacha was astonished and ran to Muktanand Swami to tell him that Maharaj had ruined the sack. When Muktanand Swami arrived, he saw that Maharaj was sweating due to the heat from the fires, and his eyes were filled with tears from the chilies, and his clothes were marked all over with chili powder, turmeric, and flour. Muktanand Swami was overjoyed by the divine darshan of Maharaj in this form, and smiled at Surakacha. Once the eggplant had cooked, Maharaj took a bit out of each pot and mixed it together, and then put it back into the 3 pots. When the sack was ready, all the devotees had arrived. Maharaj served the sack to his devotees and saved himself. All the devotees were surprised to see that there was only sack on the menu. They were expecting ladus, puri, siro, and all kinds of lavish foods. But once they ate the sack, it tasted exactly like what they originally wanted to eat. For example, Surakacha's sack tasted like papar, as he was very fond of them. Everyone enjoyed the meal and experienced utmost happiness. Never had a delicious sack had been made before. This was the greatness of our beloved Maharaj. So this is like the history of Sakosab and how like this Maharaj's sack that he made for like by himself for hundreds of peoples. Like whenever you ate it, it tasted exactly like what you wanted. So if you wanted to eat pizza, you ate the sack. Oh, it tastes like pizza. So that's the history of Sakosab. Jason.
Next up is Grush with his speech.
He has a bhajan.
You have a bhajan, and you have.
I have a bhajan.
He has me.
Okay, Raj, you go then. Next is Raj with his speech.
I have like a short story. Once upon a time, it was a full moon. The moonlight was spread all over. It was nighttime, and Ghanshyam was sleeping in a cradle. There was a window in the room where Ghanshyam was sleeping. The moon was visible from the window. Ghanshyam decided to play with the moon. He spread his hand while in the cradle and caught the moon. The moon also decided to play with Ghanshyam. The moon became a child and started playing with Ghanshyam. There was moonlight all over inside the room. Suddenly, Bhaktimata woke up. She was scared to see the lights inside the room and saw the moon was playing with Ghanshyam. And then Ghanshyam told Bhaktimata not to be scared and said the moon came to play with him. Bhaktimata was pleased to hear that the moon came to play with Ghanshyam. After playing with Ghanshyam, the moon bowed down to Ghanshyam and Bhaktimata and disappeared. What caused Bhaktimata to wake up? G.M.S.M. What caused Bhaktimata to wake up and be scared for Ghanshyam? No. She woke up because she saw there was like a lot of bright light coming from the room that Ghanshyam was sleeping in. What did the moon do before it like disappeared? Yeah, the moon bowed down to Ghanshyam and Bhaktimata.
Next I have a bhajan on page 68. 68.
Page 68.
Ghanshyam Maharaj ni jai. Man vasiyo re mare, man vasiyo. सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
छेल छुगारो वालो अति मारो मालो
छेल छुगारो अति मारो मालो
रंग बिनो रसनो रसियो रे मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
हर विसुवालो हित करीने
हर विसुवालो हित करीने
मुझ समु जोईने हसियो रे मरे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
कसुमर पागन सरनो बीनो
कसुमर पाघर के सरनो भीनो
पीतांबर कमर खसियो रे मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
प्रेमानंद नो नाथ छबीलो
प्रेमानंदनो नाथ छबीलो
शूर गुरु पूरन शशियो रे मरे मन वसियो
मन वसियो मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
मन वसियो रे मारे मन वसियो सहजानंद मारे मन वसियो
कृष्ण महाराज जय नेक्स्ट oh Ram okay next is Ram
Alright, so I have a few stories actually about why we are here today. So, yeah. Yeah, well, you already know that. But, okay. So, Sudak and his wife, so back then there weren't banks or anything, so all their treasure and all their gold and all their, like, valuables, they had to keep in a safe. So they had, like, the safe, and they had, like, a lock on top of it, with, like, the key and everything, and they taped it up. They taped, like, the key on top of the lock so, like, they wouldn't lose it or anything, because it had, like, everything that they needed. And one day there was, like, a few thieves that came to where they lived in Loya, and he came and they stole, like, the whole safe, and they brought it, like, to the outskirts of, like, the village. And basically what happened was him and his wife were saying, like, if these thieves, like, because there's a lock on it, but if these thieves somehow don't take our money and Maharaj protects it, then we'll use every single penny of it for the Sako silver for, like, a samayo. So obviously, like, Maharaj knowing everything, he protected the safe. The thieves couldn't open it at all, and when they heard about this, they came, they got all of it, and they stuck to their word. And basically they just they wanted to have a samayo. So his wife asked him to go get Maharaj, so that's what he went to go do, and he went to go get Maharaj.
and ask him to come back to Loya to have this Saba. So then, when he got there, there was actually a few other people that also wanted Maharaj to come back and go to their village. So Jinabai was one of them, and Thalakachud was there. So basically, they had like a friendly argument, kind of, and they were basically just saying like, Maharaj, you should come here, and then they were just basically like talking about it, and Thalakachud was kind of like he was saying, Maharaj, you shouldn't go there because it's all cold and everything, and Maharaj was like, I just came from the Himalayas, so I'm not cold at all. And so then he went to Brahmananda Swami and Muktananda Swami to see what they should do, and Brahmananda Swami came up with this idea that they could just go to Jinabai's place first, but then on the way, or like after Loya comes, so they could just go to both. So Maharaj liked the idea, and that's what they did. So then when they get to Loya, there's nothing that they shouldn't have like a samayo about. So Maharaj is like, because at the time there's nothing going on. So Maharaj is like, so what happens around this part? And in Loya, and this time of year, the only thing that's growing is eggplants, like a whole bunch of them. That's like the main crop that they have there. So then Maharaj is like, okay, gather around every single like eggplant and all the spices, everything that you can find. And basically that's what everyone did. Everyone came around and they gathered all the eggplant, turmeric, like salt, everything, and they brought it to Maharaj. And basically there was so much, and then Maharaj started making this like sak from all of it, and that's like Isha said earlier, the sak tasted like whatever you wanted it to taste like. Because at first people had doubts. People were saying so many people are coming from everywhere just for this samayo, and they were saying we can't just serve them this sak, we have to have other stuff. And Maharaj was like, don't worry about that, I'll take care of it. So that's what happened with that. Also, there was this guy named Gashidash, and basically he heard about like this big summer that was happening, so he came to go check it out, and he was told that like Maharaj was like Bhagwan, and he didn't believe it at first. So he came there to like see for himself, and when he came there, he saw Maharaj cooking, and so Maharaj was like all dirty and everything. He had like, after he was cooking, he would like wipe off some of the stuff on his kapra, so everyone thought he was like super dirty and stuff. So he thought everyone here was like fools because they thought that was Maharaj, and he didn't believe that. So then Maharaj, being like all knowing and everything, he knew what this guy was thinking. So he's blanked out there. So basically, yeah, Maharaj told Muktananda Swami, and this guy, he started like, yeah, so like he started talking to Muktananda Swami, and they started talking about like this holy river, and he was like, if Maharaj said out loud, if somebody doesn't take a bath in this holy river, they don't spray water on themselves, what are they? And Muktananda Swami would reply like, that person's a fool. And then Akashidatta would overhear them, and he would just say, oh my god, they're talking about me. And then he realized that they were basically like this is Maharaj, and he asked for his forgiveness and took darshan from Maharaj. There's also like a lot more stories like that, but this is just a few.
Alright, next Krusha is going to play the bhajan Sarve Sakhi on the flute.
By the way, right now in India, when there is a Shakotsav, everybody comes to Shakotsav. It's such a huge.
Next is Krish with his bhajan.
घनश्याम महाराजनी जय वरी वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी नाहन निरख्या करता सुंदर शाक जो वरी वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी निरख्या करता सुंदर शाक जो ध्यान शमन एकाक्षर तो भारमा जो माया शिव ब्रह्मा तजिनाक जो शमन एकाक्षर तो भारमा जो माया शिव ब्रह्मा तजिनाक जो चर सुंदर निवृत्ता करी चार सुंदर निवृत्ता करी मेरे मोटा बाण मही भगवान जो मेरे मोटा बाण मही भगवान जो रावण बसन हरी मरचा मावली सारो हरी मरचा मावली निज हाथे मुनि नाखे कृपा निधान जो निज हाथे वही नाखे कृपा निधान जो हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी निरख्या करता सुंदर शाख जो निरख्या करता सुंदर शाख जो हरि वाला शोभे सुंदर पिए पट परिभ्रम शोभे सुंदर पिए पट परिभ्रम अक्षर पर पुरुषोत्तम जी नर हृदय अक्षर पर पुरुषोत्तम जी जाने मोटा मुनि कार्तिक मार्ग जाने मोटा मुनि कार्तिक मार्ग हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी निरख्या करता सुंदर शाख जो शिव सवधान शिव राम विगते शीश जो भवधर्मा सुने तो स्वप्ने न हमारे भवब्रह्मा सुने तो स्वप्ने जबले प्रेमानंद ने तीन से यधीश जो प्रेमानंद ने पियसा यधीश जो हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी हरि वखानो शाकोत्सव लीला करी निरख्या करता सुंदर शाख जो निरख्या कभी ना करी
भई रखालू का लीला करी
मैंने मीठा करना सुंदर शाख दो
नहीं देखे क्या करना सुंदर शाख दो
Next is Sitish with his bhajan.
रंग बिना रे श्यामया वो जोड़िए पांडु फूल लो प्यारा
अनुकूल लो प्यारा
मेरा वो पतभूषण सारा
भूषण सारा
नंद कुवत मने नहीं भूलिए रे
नंद कुमार तमने निरखीने झूलिए
रंग बिना रे श्यामया वो जोड़िए रे
रंग भीगा रे श्यामया वो झूलिए रे
चचु चंदन खोर चबीरा
चक्षु चंदन तोड़ चबीला
गौतम नित्य शूरंगीला
गौतम हिते शूरंगीला
चांदरियो करवाऊ बीकम कोलिए रे चांदरियो
करवाऊ बीकम कोलिए रे
रंग बिना रे श्यामया वो जोड़िए रे
रंग भीना रे श्यामया वो झूलिए रे
जर कसिया पहलो हरि जामा
जल कसिया पेलो हरि जामा
आवो छेड़ छबीला श्यामा
आवो छेड़ छबीला श्यामा
चिकलू जोड़ो पांडी पागे मूलिए रे
चिकलू जोड़ो पांडी पागे मूलिए रे
रंग बिना रे श्यामया वो जोड़िए रे
रंग भीना रे श्यामया झूलिए रे
अलबेदारु माल की राखो
अलबेदारु माल की राखो
तन मन तन परवारी नाखो
तन मन धन परवारी राखो
प्रेमानंद कया उसने बोलिए रे
प्रेमानंद कया उसने भूलिए रे
रंग बिना रे श्यामया वो जोड़िए रे
रंग भीना रे श्यामया झूलिए रे
श्यामराजनी जय
Are you ready, Nayan? Next is Nayan with his bhajan.
पिया जी तेरी चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चितवन चंचल चारू
मुस्कानी बंग बिलोकनी ऊपर
मुस्कानी बंग बिलोकनी ऊपर
कोटि मनन लेवारू
पिया जी तेरी
चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चितवन चंचल चारू
खंजन मीन मधुपनुग पंकज
कंचन हीन मधुकंज बंधन
इनलोचन परवारी के दारू
इनलोचन परवारी के दारू
कोका-कोला रस पड़े सकल विधि
कोका-कोला रस पड़े सकल विधि
गोपी जन सुख सारू
पिया जी तेरी
चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चितवनी चंचल चारू
ऐसी कौन कुशल पतिव्रता
ऐसी कौन कुशल पतिव्रता
जिन चले तवने नानिहारू
जिन चले तवने नानिहारू
प्रेमानंद घन श्याम बिहारे
प्रेमानंद घन श्याम बिहारे
नैन पर उपकार पिया जी तेरी चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चितवनी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चित भरी चंचल चारू
मुस्कानी बंक विलोकनी ऊपर
मुस्कानी बंक विलोकनी ऊपर
कोटि मदन ललवारू पिया जी तेरी चित भरी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चित भरी चंचल चारू
पिया जी तेरी चित भरी चंचल चारू
No. Next is Sona with her bhajan on page 56. Page 56. Sajan Sai Maharaj Nije Choga Vaira Ho Chel Choga Vaira Ho Chel Pyara Mara Jeevan Pran Cho
Choga Vaira Ho Chel Choga Vaira Ho Chel Pyara Mara Jeevan Pran Cho
Mohan Tari Murti मन लागे छे प्यारी लाल
मोहन तारी मूर्ति मन लागे छे प्यारी लाल
आड़ी मीठा देखता तमे चालो छो सुंदर चाल तमे चालो छो सुंदर चाल छोगा भाड़ा हो छे ले छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
छोगा भाड़ा हो छे ले छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
नैनो लोक मायने वड़ी गायने दो तमकी कामण कीधा करवा मारू चोरी तू चित्त मारू चोरी तू चित्त छोगा भाड़ा हो छे छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
छोगा भाड़ा हो छे छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
बाए बाजू बंद पैर खा तेरी फुलड़ा के रहा
बाए बाजू बंद पैर खा तेरी फुलड़ा के रहा
वाला ब्रह्मानंद रावण नंद कुमार रावण नंद कुमार छोगा भाड़ा हो छे ले छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
छोगा भाड़ा हो छे छोगा भाड़ा हो छे प्यारा मारा जीवन प्राण छो
सजा से महाराजी जय
श्री घनश्याम महाराज की जय। मुनि तरा शरणगार हरि मारे तब संग लागे प्यार।
मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तनाशयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
तम संग लागो प्यार सुमरत रे
तम संग लागो प्यार समरत रे
तम संग लागो प्यार सुमरत रे
तम संग लागो प्यार समरत रे शयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
शिर पर पाद सुमन लो तोरो शोभे उदार
शिव कर पाद सुमन लो तोरो शोभे उदार
शिर पर पाद सुमन लो तोरो शोभे उदार
शिव कर पाद सुमन लो तोरो शोभे उदार
फुलनो सुंदर श्यामा मेरो
जानो देवो
फुलनो सुंदर श्यामा मेरो
सुंदर सुंदर जानो तेरो मुनि तना शयगार
हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तना शयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तया शरणगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तना शयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
फुलना काजू काजू गजरा प्यारा उर बरहार काजू काजू गजरा प्यारा उर
बरहार
फुलना काजू काजू गजरा प्यारा उर बरहार
फूला काजू बाजू तेरा प्यारा
फूलनी गुथड़ी ने फूल पदमा फूलनी गुथड़ी ने फूल पदमा हार करी रे प्यार हार करी रे प्यार रे मुनि कला कनकार मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तना शयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
अंगो अंग मां अंगो अंग महाराज हरि रे सुमदना शरणगार अंगो अंग महाराज हरि रे सुमदना शरणगार अंगो अंग महाराज हरि रे सुमदना शरणगार आज दुश्मनो भूलो जानी
सुनो जानी
बमर करे गुंजार बमर करे गुंजार रे मुनि तना शरणगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
मुनि तना शयगार हरि मारे तम संग लागो प्यार
फूल कलंकी फूल नादा रे कुंडल मकरादा कलंकी फूल
Does anyone want to sing another bhajan before we do the Vacharva? Just go seconds. Jignesh, would you like to sing a bhajan? Or do you want to sing it after your Vacharva?
I'll sing after.
Yeah, okay. So the next is Jignesh for the Vacharva.
Okay, everybody come up. Come on.
Wearing it backwards. It's Gajra Pratham 53. In the Samvat year 1876, on Mahavad 9th, 8th February 1820, Sriji Maharaj was sitting facing west on a decorated bedstead on the veranda outside the west-facing rooms in front of the mandir of Sri Vasudeva Narayan in Dada Kachar's Darbar in Gharra. He was wearing a white surval and a white angaraku. He had tied a rich white shelu with a silken border around his waist. He had also tied a rich red retal with a silken border around his head, with tassels of flowers dangling from it. He was also wearing garlands of flowers around his neck. At the time, Sabha Munis as well as Haribhaks from various places had gathered before him. Sriji Maharaj then said, "Someone please ask a question." Muktanand Swami then asked, "There are those in satsang who progress day by day. There are also those who seem to fall back day by day. Despite being in satsang, what is the reason of this?" So Muktanand Swami is asking a question that every day in satsang, day by day, someone's progress, their Haribhaktas, their progress day by day increases, but there are other Haribhaktas that day by day their progress falls back. So even if they're like in satsang, what is the reason of this? So does anyone know the reason without looking ahead? Anyone? I think, is it paragraph 7? Sriji Maharaj replied, "Maya is anything that obstructs a bhakt." Right. Thereafter, Hari Thakur asked Sriji Maharaj, "Some have been practicing satsang for quite some time, yet they do not harbor the same feeling profound love for satsang as they do for their own body and relatives. What is the reason for this?" So Hari Thakur asked Maharaj a question that a lot of people, they've been doing satsang for a while, but they still don't have the same affection towards satsang as they have towards their parents or their relatives. Yeah. That's true, yeah. We don't realize that the value of Maharaj is higher than the value of our parents and relatives.
Both questions, the one which you have selected number 53 and this question, both questions, what your answer is actually not correct. It has you already read the number 53, so you already know what their answer is. The similar thing is what he's going to say here too. The reason we don't glory of Bhagavan, it's because of the person who you're taking outcome of. That person is going to experience the glory of Bhagavan, but you will not listen to him because you don't trust that person. If your friend, let's say, about especially at this age, you have a better friendship with about your age, so you listen to them more than you listen to your parents. Because listen to your friend because they're your friend. It's about because you have a good relationship with them, or you're close to your age and things like that. Maharaj is expecting us to don't behave like that. He's going to ask you how we're supposed to behave. Go ahead, read the further paragraph number 7.
Sriji Maharaj explained, "Such a person has not fully realized the glory of Bhagavan. When a sant, by whose association the glory of Bhagavan can be fully released, talks to him about his svabhav, the person is not able to change his behavior. Instead, he develops hatred towards the sant that has advised him. It is due to this sinful act that he does not develop intense love for satsang. After all, sins committed elsewhere are washed away by association with a sant, but sins committed against a sant are washed away only by the grace of the sant himself. not by any other means.
What is satsang? First thing you have to be clear. What is satsang? What is satsang Maharaj is talking about?
Like,
Satsang is basically love towards Bhagavan. That's true satsang. There is nothing else. But when you love towards Bhagavan, Bhagavan wants you to become, like a Atma, the soul taker, Atma Nishtha is your soul life. Then your satsang will not, because then you will not think of other people and you will not have Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan is not like a human, you know what I'm saying? Bhagavan has taken human form for us, so he can teach us how to love Bhagavan. Now, if you love Bhagavan as like he's a human, what's going to happen is you will never be able to take the human or murti bhav out of the Bhagavan. Bhagavan devious. Now you have to become devious, so that's my you're single person. Jeni Pasiri, the place where you want to learn, that's a place. If you take a hate, you will have haters towards it. The place where you want to learn, you know what I mean? આ સંતો હોય કાં તો કેવા સાધુ હોય કાં તો કોઈ કેવા હરિભક્તો હોય એની પાસેથી you want to learn the glory of Bhagavan, how great Bhagavan is. And if you develop haters toward that person, you will not listen to them, and then you will never develop love towards Bhagavan. સત્સંગની અંદર સત્સંગની જે મેઇન ડેફિનેશન છે ને સત એવો આત્મા. What is the truth? Truth is Bhagavan and soul. Rest of the things that you see by your physical eyes, hear, or whatever you listening or you seeing and everything is going to go away in 50, 60 or 100 years. It won't be for you. And for you, it will be your soul, and Bhagavan is the only thing will be left. So if you develop love right now, then it will stay there when we leave the body. But if you love towards the worldly objects and worldly desires, all your parents, all your children, all your what's going to happen to them, they're going to be also stay here. So you will stay here. You will not go to the Akshardham. Understand? Just simple logic, If you love towards Bhagavan, you will go to the Bhagavan Dham. If you love right? That's why Maharaj is saying that you need to love Bhagavan more than you love who?
Your relatives.
Right. And Maharaj says it doesn't happen. This is the first one Maharaj said. Most of the time, people staying like, okay, if somebody asks me, how long you been in Satsang, I would say 25 years or 30 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And at the end, if you look at it, where are you at? And then you say, oh, I still love my family, my, people more than I love Bhagavan and I love Haribhaktas. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't really, you have taken avguni Bhagavan Santoma, Bhagavan Haribhaktoma avgun lido hai. એટલે તમને એ develop થાય નહીં love Bhagavan. What you need to learn, you're developing hateism. Does that make sense to you? Right? That's why I asked you to read the first. Like this explains why. The other one doesn't explain. It just says you're taking over in sadhu. That's all it says, and that's why you're not developing love. But this one exactly says why, because you need to learn the glory of Bhagavan. And glory of Bhagavan, only way you learn is the person who has it. And the person who has it, you don't have love towards him because you hate him. Because that person is going to tell you, do this or do that, and you're not going to, Swabhav par baat kare, but you don't like it. What is Swabhav?
It's like someone's characteristics or like personality.
Right? આપણા સ્વભાવ ઉપર જ્યારે વાત કરે ત્યારે આપણને ગમે નહીં. What is સ્વભાવ come from? કારણ સ્વરૂપ કહે ને કે જેના લીધે આપણને બેઝિકલી ખરેખર જોવા જાઓ ને તો whenever you do માનસી પૂજા, whenever you do ધ્યાન, તમને જે વસ્તુ બહાર મૂકી જાય ને એ આપણો સ્વભાવ કહેવાય. ખબર પડી? એટલે who knows your સ્વભાવ?
Maharaj, it's for me.
There's one more person knows your swabha.
Your parents?
No. You yourself, because you are the one who doing Mansi Puja, and while doing Mansi Puja, while ભગવાન આપણે કંઈક ખવડાવતા હોઈએ, જમાડતા હોઈએ, રાઈટ? કંઈક વસ્તુ પદાર્થ, ધારો કે ભગવાનને કંઈક ભગવાનને જમાડતા you forget ભગવાન and you start thinking about
other things.
What other things you think about?
Like school, work,
video games, whatever, I say. That tells you that maro swabhav, haju mana, I like this thing better than Bhagwan. એવું થાય ને, which is a sad story. મને તે થાય કે આપણને એમ થાય કે આપણે ખાલી ખોટા ભગત થઈ બેઠા છે. મહારાજે ના જ પાડી છે. મહારાજે શું કીધું પ્રથમના 44 વચનામૃતની અંદર કે જેની વૃત્તિ ભગવાનમાં ના રહે એ ભગવાનનો ભક્ત નહીં. If your vritti doesn't stay, if your focus doesn't stay in Bhagwan, then you will not consider as Bhakta of Bhagwan. Maharaj says that. Pratham 44th Vachanamrita. So પછી મહારાજને પગે લાગે કે મહારાજ, then what can we do to become Bhakta of Bhagwan? Bhagwan કે if you stay in satsang, then slowly you will become Bhakta of Bhagwan. But while you stay in satsang, what are you going to do? You're going to take avguni person who's going to teach you glory of Bhagwan, right? When you do that, what happens? You go down, further down. Instead of gaining, you lost. Then what happens actually? Let's say you start going down, then what happens? Eventually what would happen? What? Then what happens to us slowly?
You fall out of satsang.
Thank you. You slowly gonna make your way out. Maharaja Vachanam, the lower 18th Vachanam, I never kick anybody out. They leave by himself. Maharaj says that, it's his own word. I never kick anybody out. But everybody, whoever, what I'm saying. એટલે આપણે આપણું વિચારો કે ભાઈ સત્સંગની અંદર ભગવાન અને સંતનું આપણે હરિભક્તોનો કે કોઈનો ઊંઘ ન લેવું. જો ઊંઘ લઈશું તો આપણને સ્વભાવ પર વાત કરશે તો આપણને નહીં ગમે. કદાચ કોઈક આપણે સ્વભાવ પર વાત કરી. Usually people, they are afraid. They don't even talk about your swabha because they're afraid that you will leave, But when they do, you will not, you will create hateism in that person. All right, go ahead.
Register press on 53. Yeah. Sriji Maharaj explained, a person who perceives Avgun in a great sadhu gradually falls back in sattva. Conversely, a person who perceives Gun in that sadhu progresses, and his bhakti towards Bhagwan flourishes. Therefore, one should not perceive Avgun in a sadhu. Instead, should only perceive his Gun.
Okay. Who would perceive Gun and who would take the Gun in sadhu and who would take Avgun in Bhagwan? Who would do that? Which type of person? Go ahead.
An egotistical sadhu would take Argun and think that he's better. A good sadhu, one that's like a truly Haribhav, would take Gun.
Let's say you have a friend, okay, and you have a brother, okay. The friend is very close, your friend is very close to you, okay, and then then your friend started, saying bad things about your brother, what would happen?
I'd get mad
Right. You'd get mad at whom?
with my friend.
Why?
Because he's saying bad things about my brother. He's saying bad things about, like, someone I care about.
Does that make sense? Now, just put the same scenario in this situation, okay? If you keep the satsang as your brother, or if you keep your satsang as your main thing, you know, because then what happens is, if even if somebody, in a sadhu or some Hari Bhakta, says bad thing about your swabha, you will not feel bad because your satsang has more importance in your life than your swabha. એટલે આપણને જે સત્સંગ હતું important most important thing, I think that's because of satsang. And when do you give a satsang more importance?
When you, like, realize, like, what it's going to do to you, how it's going to help you.
How's satsang going to help you? What is it going to do to you?
It's going to help you reach Akshardham.
Right. Its main thing is it's going to help your jeev, to go to the Bhagwan Dhamma Java. Free of this, નરક ચોરસની અંદર કે ને એને આપણે ફ્રી થઈએ. મહારાજે પ્રથમના 70ના વચનમાં કીધું. એટલે આપણને જો એવી રીતે થાય ને કે આ જે સત્સંગ છે એનાથી મારો મોક્ષ થશે, કે જેના લીધે મને ભગવાનનો મહિમા સમજાય, glory of Bhagwan, then you keep the close contact with satsang. Make sense? Okay.
One should perceive an avgun in that sadhu only if he breaks any of the vartamans prescribed by Bhagwan. However, even if the sadhu has no flaws in following his vartaman, on seeing some small irregularity in the sadhu's nature, one may feel that it is improper. Therefore, they focus only on the sadhu's avgun and ignore many of his guns. This causes one's own glorious gun, like of Gnyan and Vairagya, to diminish. Therefore, only if there is a flaw in the following of the vartamans, should one find avgun. One should not find avgun in a bhakta Bhagwan for any other reason.
Why is that?
So, like, if a sadhu, so Maharaj is saying, like, if a sadhu, he, like, breaks any of, like, the 5 vartamans, like, given to, like, grahasthas and then, like, tyagis, if he breaks, like, any of them, then only should you, like, see some avgun in him. But even if it's, like, just in his swabhav, if it's, like, just his nature, like, that he keeps yelling at you, or he just, like, he's more commanding, he's like, do this, then you still shouldn't, like, get mad at him, because he's looking at your good. He's not trying to get mad, he's just trying to do good for you.
Yeah, but my question is, up here it says Vartman, if the sadhu breaks a Vartman, then take a gun. Why is that? I like your answer. It is not a true sadhu. Right? Maharaj, sadhu became, sadhu na panchvartman પાળવા જોઈએ, જ્યારે એ ન પાળે તો એ શું થાય કે he really does, he doesn't have any interest in Bhagwan, he has interest in worldly things. એટલે person who has a Bhagwan માં interest હોય ને, they will not break the panchvartman. And if they break it, means they don't have much interest in Bhagwan.
How much should you trust sadhu, sant? How much should you trust him?
Fully.
Right. Swamiji gave example of two friends, right? And they had some money, and they were going through. I think you heard that, right, before or no? Have you heard?
Maybe.
Okay, they were going through like a forest, right? And then they were walking, and then the one friend would fall asleep, and the other one would stay up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a snake that came over there, and the friend who had money, was sleeping, and the other guy was, guarding him, right? And the snake came over and said, "I want to," he wanted his blood, basically. So then he said, "Wait, hold on 1 minute, I'll get you his blood from his neck. If I get you the blood from his neck, then, you let him go." So he says, "Yeah, and then what did he do? He took like 2 or 3,
drops.
No. What do you call those? Of leaves from that tree, and then made a little patio out of it, and then he cut his neck. Now imagine somebody cutting your neck, and then you're sleeping at night, and you have money. The guy still trusted him, and then still went back to sleep, right? And he took the blood out of his neck, and then gave it to the snake, and the snake went away, right? And even next day, he doesn't ask him. He asks him why, and he still doesn't ask him anything. And the guys who did cut his neck say, "Why aren't you asking me? Why don't you ask me?" And he goes, "I trust you. You're my friend." That's how much you should trust sadhu and Bhagwan. But we don't have that much trust in them, do we? And that's the biggest problem.
Moreover, if one does not find flaws, one's glorious gun will begin to flourish day by day. So if one doesn't find Avgun in sadhu, then he'll keep progressing in satsang day by day. Thus ends Vajramana Gaja Pratham 53. Shamarani.
Jignesh is singing a bhajan. Yeah, next is Jignesh singing a bhajan.
Ganesha Maharaj ni jai. मंदिर आओ माई गर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आओ माई गर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा खम्मर घड़ी खम्मा मावा खम्मर घड़ी खम्मा खम्मर घड़ी खम्मा मावा मंदिर आओ मामी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आओ मामी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा बानर हर खभारी उभी बात जो बानर हर खभारी उभी बात जो बानर हर खभारी उभी बात जो वानर हर खभारी उभी बात जो आव मर रंग भीना राग मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा वाला रे मुखड़ा लेने तमने मोती रे घाव वाला रे मुखड़ा लेने तमने मोती रे घाव दूधे पखारो तारा पाव मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा वाला रे आस घड़ी थे तारू वजन जोलानी वाला रे आस घड़ी थे तारू वजन जोवानी तम पर घड़ो मन भाव मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा हरि गौर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा हो मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा वाला रे प्रेमा मुन्ना प्यारा चेल घुमानी वाला रे प्रेमा मुन्ना प्यारा चेल घुमानी ओराया मुनते वरना घुमावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा मंदिर आवो मारी घर मावा मावा तमने खम्मा खम्मा घनश्याम महाराजनी जय।
Is there anyone I've forgotten? All right, that's about everybody.
We ain't done yet.
Okay. You still got till 4 o'clock, guys. So, શ્રી હરિપદાસ અમૃત ગુજરાતી કોણ વાંચે? કૃષ્ણ કાં છે અંદર? Page 104.